Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda Carruthers, and I'm a leadership coach. You get a little bit of my bright lights around me because I just wanted to jump on here and be honest and be real with you today. I have been in coaching sessions all morning, as you know, or maybe you don't know. Is I'm an executive coach. I've worked in corporate entities for the last 25 years. I've also worked in non-governmental, nonprofit, small mom and pop shops, as well as in real estate, mortgage, title. So my whole background really is helping people be the best of themselves. And what I've learned is that the more we grow consciously about who we are and the choices that we make, and the more that we focus in on grounding ourselves in our true spirit of who we are, what we bring to the table, then we create greater impact into the world. So today, what I'd like to talk to you about is leadership authenticity. I was recently on a call with a woman from India that works in a large multinational corporation. And her comments and discussion today was around how do I know that I need to be authentic with what I want to believe and what I know and come from my heart versus that always happens when I'm online versus saying what my audience needs to hear. So she leads a very large team of people both in the United States and also in India, and her whole challenge around, even though I'm facing burnout at this moment, how do I stay strong and show it that, to my team members and be a good influence for them to keep going? And she was really distraught around, being the self that she really works towards. Like, am I good enough? Am I saying things to others that people need to hear? Am I treating others respect? Is it landing well? Are they receiving it well? Am I helping other people feel good in general through the interactions? And then yet facing this burnout and this feeling of this has been really challenging on the inside of who I am. And so that uneven balance. And the discussion really came down to there's two things going on always in one of my coaching conversations, and really truly in any conversation if we break it down. The two things that are going on is, one, we have the foundational place of who we are as ourselves as human beings. That place that is human, that has experiences, right, wrong, or indifferent, but experiences that make us who we are and shape us who we are. And then we have the material world that we participate in, all of the consistent actions that we take over and over and over to make our physical reality exactly what it is. So, for example, in this one, with her working with her burnout, actually has to deal with her core self, is who she really is as a human being, what she's faced in challenges, the stresses she's gone through over this last year with COVID, working in two different countries, spanning teams with different cultures. Different communication and conflict breakdowns just because of all the stress with the pandemic, and just the personal toll it's taken on herself. And then the more second level or the surface is, how is she showing up day to day to do her leadership role, to be inspiring to others and help others keep performing and moving forward, which is always expected in corporate. And so there's a little bit of a battle going on of where do I really play and what's most important. The place that I always come back to is this, is that if we don't work on this lower, more foundational level of who we are and repair that, gain self-awareness, gain choices around the way that we want to do ourselves, meaning the beliefs that she holds, the standards she holds herself to, the way that she rejuvenates herself or does self-care, just who she is as a person always trumps the consistent actions and what she's doing on the more physical world level, the consistent world level. So the reason why it trumps is that, one, people can always feel what's really going on. Your consistent actions may not align with the more foundational emotional part of your body, that more being self that you are. We all know that we've met someone or come across someone where you ask them how they're doing and they're like, I'm doing great. And everything else in their body and their answer says, I'm not doing okay. I'm exhausted. I'm run down. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I'm burnt out. I'm not here. I haven't eaten in a long time. We always can see when there's a message that's misaligned. And this happens in every communication. So when we're trying to be authentic leaders, even though showing up and being consistent is the name of the game, especially in corporate, because really there's no time to rest in corporate. You're paid to do a job and probably work more hours than are expected of you to keep a ball being juggled on and on and on and on. There's no stop and starts to a race. Okay. It's a continuous thing. So I commonly come across leaders that are tired. They don't have anything else to give. And so I find that my conversations are about nourishing, helping, creating self awareness, creating choice about this deeper level of being the self, and making choices around that so that they can put on their own oxygen masks, so that they can take a moment and maybe fit some breaks in their schedule, especially with all the Zoom meetings that are going on, Zoom fatigue. Um, they tend not to be in charge of their calendars. And so, how do you slow down enough to let your body mind catch up during the day? How do you take some inventory just with yourself to keep yourself out of burnout? Maybe it is really planning a little bit of a slower stride for a couple of weeks within your business, meaning renegotiating the contracts of what you can and can't do with others so that you can take a little bit of a downtime so that on the next race or the next time that you have big developments or big deliverables due, you really have full energy to do that. And I think that this is one of those secrets of being a high performance athlete in corporate. I call them athletes because corporate is still something we're training for. We have to build muscles for. There's a lot of skill around being in corporate, especially if you're moving up the ladder. And so there is rest and recovery as necessary part of being an athlete. And that also includes being an athlete in corporate. So, how do you really pay attention to that foundational part of yourself and what you need? How you really tune into putting your own oxygen mask on and taking a second to really see what you authentically bring to the moment. Because when we respond from that place, and that place is usually a loving, understanding, open, curious place. Okay. If we're not in that place, we're usually caught up in something or triggered by something that we need to actually work out. Um, but when we come from that foundational place about who we are and what we're about and showing up to this moment and being present in today, we make better decisions all around for ourselves and for everyone else included. So I always recommend that the deeper work is more important than the topical actions that you can take as a leader. So when people talk to me about authentic leadership or authenticity in leadership, the place that I go to is who are you when you're not trying to be good enough, when you're not trying to be perfect, when you're not trying to work towards doing what your audience needs, but actually tuning in to the impact and the value and who you are and what you bring to the situation. Because ultimately, we're not in control of what everyone else thinks or feels. It's actually none of our business because it's not our place to guess or try to make that different. That would be manipulative. So instead, we want to lead from a place of who is truly ourself, what our message is about, listening to others and taking that in and reacting from that place that's our true brilliance and talent that we get hired for. So I will lead it with just that. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. Please work on your own authentic leadership, and I look forward to talking to you guys again soon.